the score may not have reflected how good their players were, and we were extremely concerned going into the game. They were very mobile up front, very big up front. Their quarterback was a very dynamic player who not only ran and passed it but could kick as well. And then the way they came out and took the opening drive right down the field and scored. Now, with that said, 4 defensive penalties help that drive continue. And so we can't come out and play like that. We've got to come out and execute at a higher level, and that's been a big focus for us this week. Well, he was pretty good. Now, Colin had a few good games last year as well, but what I saw out of Gavin was the Gavin that was playing for us 3 years ago before he had his initial injury. And he just looked very confident in the pocket. He knew exactly where the ball was coming out. He made the right reads. He changed the play correctly. I think he missed maybe one read on the very first play of the game, but other than that, as you said, he was putting the ball where our guys can run with it. And we talk about, when we talk about the throw, we want to make sure we're not throwing it a long ways down the field, but with a 5-yard completion, we have to put it at a spot where our receiver, running back, tight end, can turn that 5-yard catch into a 15 to 20-yard gain. And that's how we're creating explosive plays right now. And if we can do that and get North Carolina Wesleyan to commit to the pass, and hopefully we'll get smaller numbers in the box and we'll be able to run it. Well, the nice thing about Gavin is he takes the read and he follows the scheme and follows the progressions. He's not throwing to him. He's throwing to the person that the defense gives him the opportunity to throw to. He's taking what the defense gives him, which is a very cliche thing, but that's why he did so well. He read the defense correctly, confirmed it after the snap of what he thought he was seeing, and then delivered the ball exactly where it needed to be, or handed the ball off when he needed to. And when he does that, he's got to be right 85 to 90% of the time for our offense to execute, and he handled that responsibility beautifully on Saturday. One thing, we've got to make sure that we come out ready to play. And I go back to the first drive of the game where they scored. Obviously, they showed us that they had the skill to score. They went right after our best corner, J.J. Henderson, and completed a couple balls. He got a couple pass interference penalties. But they came right out and said, hey, we're going to challenge your best player and go after you. So what we have to do is we have to make sure that we don't start flat. We've got to execute. We've been putting a lot of emphasis on, okay, first drive of the game. Defense, you have to get off the field. Offense, you need to generate a first down to get things moving. And then continue that high level of execution all the way through. We talked a lot this week about who we're playing. It doesn't matter whether it's the best team on our schedule, the worst team on our schedule. We gotta set a standard of execution that persists through everything that we do, and we got to set a standard of preparation that persist through everything we do. And if we continue to do that each week, we'll have a chance to win games. Well, their offensive line is big. I mean, they've got 2 300-pounders. One guy's 330. They're big across the board. They have a very good running back. They have a quarterback, as I said, who can run and pass. His delivery may be a little bit unorthodox, but the ball gets there, and he's got really good arm strength. And then when he doesn't throw it, or he pulls it down to run it after he's being rushed, he's got the foot quickness to cause some major problems. So we've got to keep him contained in the pocket. We've got to make sure that we're going to try to confuse him with showing blitz, pulling out, or not showing blitz and then coming, just to try to make him hang on to the ball a little bit longer and hopefully give our rush a chance to get there. Defensively, they play a 3-man front. They do play some 4, but primarily they're based out of a 3-man front, and they play their tackles in kind of a unique situation. Most of the time in a 3-man front, a tackle is playing a 5 technique, and then these guys are playing just a little bit inside. So that's forcing us to change our blocking schemes a little bit, and we're going to have to be able to adjust to that. Well, number one, we've got to eliminate turnovers. Right now we're +6, and we've got to make that number grow. Number two, we've got to eliminate their explosive plays and make sure we generate our own. And then number three, we've got to come right out of the box and jump on these guys quickly. We've got to make sure that we get off to a good start, execute at the highest level that we can, and then continue that high level all the way through the game. And if we do those three things, we'll have a pretty good chance to win.